Hi, welcome to DY India Tech. Tomcat JVM explain architectures and tuning guide. So today we look the deep dive in JVM parameters and JVM architectures for tuning guidelines. Before that, if you know that Tomcat for installations, so you can watch this video for Tomcat installations and integrations. Moving to understanding Tomcat JVM. About Tomcat. Tomcat is an open source Java servlet container developed by the Apache Software Foundations. It is implemented formally Java EE specifications such as servlet, JSP, and WebSocket. JVM Java Virtual Machine is the engine that execute Java bytecode. Tomcat depend on the JVM to run Java servlet and JSP efficiently. Java handles memory allocations, garbage collections, state management, which directly affect Tomcat performance. Understanding Tomcat and JVM architectures. So the JVM architectures is look like as this. So first of all, we have web applications, which is Apache Tomcat. On the top of the Tomcat is the HTTP request and response. On the below, if you see the JVMs in the JVM, which memory management. In the memory management, there is a heap and param gen, and there is a garbage collection and GC process. Another is a thread management where worker thread. On the top of that is the operating system. So let me explain one by one. First is Tomcat. Tomcat is a web service as servlet containers. It handles HTTP requests and response. When a user sends a request to a web applications, Tomcat receive it and processes it and send back the response. So the Tomcat request and response, when the user is trying to send a request, then the Tomcat is processed and sent back to as a response. Next is JVM. So JVM, the Java Virtual Memory, execute the Java code that Tomcat run. It's provide memory management, control heap and param gen space, garbage collection, clean up unused object automatically, thread management, handle concurrent requests efficiently. So memory management just control the heap and param gen space. Garbage collection is clean up unused object automatically. Thread management is like handling the concurrent requests like the number of requests is number of thread we have to define in the server.xml. The OS provide hardware resources like CPU and memory. JVM interact directly with the OS allow resources. Thus, layer ensure the Tomcat can smoothly on platform Linux, Windows, and Mac. Tomcat is the web container. JVM is the executions engine, and operating system is a foundation. Together, they are the complete environment for running Java web application. How to use JVM? Tomcat doesn't include its own JVM. It uses the one installed on your system. When you start Tomcat, the Tomcat start script catalina.sh or catalina.bat involve the JVM. So if you are using that Linux system, then we have to use catalina.sh. If we are using the Windows servers, then in case we are using catalina.bat. JVM parameter define how much memory Tomcat can use and how it manage resources. So when we define the JVM parameters, okay, so we have to take a decisions as per the application requirement, and we have to set the JVM parameter for the application requirement. Make sure your parameters JVM parameters should be less than physical's memory. The servlet container run inside the JVM process, handle requests and response. So the process is running inside a JVM and is handling the request and response. The recommended way how we can set. So if we are using like Linux or Mac, then we have to set the JVM parameters is recommended for set env.sh, and this is the parameter you can set it. So in my case, we have set minimum memory 512 MB and maximum 1024 MB. It means like when the Tomcat start, initially it will take 512 MB, and when the number of processes increasing, then it get claim the more memory as defined 1024. The max memory is for JVM is 1024. Alternate, if we are using Windows, then we have to use catalina.bat. And the parameters is like same. JVM key parameters. Initially, heap size, maximum heap size, enable GC1 garbage collector, set permanent generation size of old JVM.